Guys, so I finally got my e-visa. Yes, my e-visa is here. I'll be showing it to you guys in a minute. The whole process of getting the e-visa was a bit frustrating, but I'm going to simplify it for you in today's video. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Stop that. Hi guys, as you all know, the UK is going digital. Now, the UK is scraping off all physical documents that is used to prove your immigration status and replacing these physical documents with online records to prove your immigration status, known as the e-visa. Okay, so there will be no longer BRP cards, there will no longer be vignet stamps in your passport, etc. Now, everything is digital. Those who are hearing e-visa for the first time, this is what it is. And if your BRP is expiring 31st of December 2024, you would have to get an e-visa before this date, okay? What's going to happen is, and I spoke about this at length in my other video, I'll link it here, you're going to receive an email from the Home Office. Until then, there's nothing you can do. The link that was sent by the UK Visas Immigration to your friend might not work for you. You have to wait till you receive your own link to be able to use. That is why I keep saying that you have to make sure that you're checking your emails, and then make sure you're checking your spam folder and look for this email. Another thing is, if every time you apply for your visa, you do not use your own email, or you have several emails, and then there's this one that you only use for visa applications, blah blah blah, make sure you're checking that one as well, because that is what is known to the UK Visas and Immigration, and that's what they're probably going to send that email to. And if you usually let other people apply for your visa for you, you pay people to do it for you, please contact these people, especially the ones that did your most current application for you, so that they can check your email for you and then send you this link that you will need. Okay, and then when you apply for your e-visa, you can update and then now use your own email and your own details. So this is the email that you should expect, and the email is from Do Not Reply e-visa direct mail, and the email says important information about your BRP and changes to the UK immigration system. So they are saying, dear sir or madam, we are contacting you because your biometric residence permit into bracket BRP, which can be used to demonstrate your immigration status, will expire on 31st of December 2024. The expiry of your BRP card does not affect your immigration status. However, how you prove your status will change from 2025. The UK border and immigration system is becoming digital. This means that physical documents like BRPs and vignets visa stickers are being replaced by e-visas. If you become a British citizen, since you were last issued with a BRP, you will have the right of abode in the UK. To prove your right, you can use your passport or your certificate of entitlement to prove your rights of abode. It says, so right now, what do you have to do when you're traveling overseas during the period of 2024? So it explains further that if you're traveling before 2025, you still have to carry your physical BRP card. I mean, it is not expired yet, is it? So you still have to carry the physical BRP card along as you're traveling this period. However, from 1st January, you will no longer be required to use that one. That is why you have to make sure you're checking your emails to be able to apply for your e-visa, because the airlines know this, the border force or the immigration, they all know this. They'll check that you have a visa or a leave to enter or remain in the UK. They'll check it digitally. Your e-visa will be connected to your passport. That's another reason why you have to make sure that your account with the UK Visas and Immigration is always updated. If you renew your passport, you have to make sure that your current passport details is what is on their website. Other than that, they're going to think it's not you. Everything must be updated. And for those who have also lost their BRPs, there's a link that you'd have to contact, and this link is also in the email that you receive from Home Office. Another thing is that if you have dependents, it's not just for main applicants, it's for every single person. Okay, so check your email to make sure that all your family members are sorted. I have received my email, my husband has not, but I keep asking him to refresh his mail to make sure that he has not missed that email, and also ask him to check his spam all the time. But if you have not received it yet, just hold on. There's still a long time from now till 31st of December, so you're likely going to receive it before then. Okay, so now the process of applying for your e-visa or getting your e-visa is quite simple. There's a part that is a bit frustrating, but I'll come to that. So these are the steps. It's just a 3-step process. So the first thing is that you have to create a UKVI account, and then the second step is that you have to confirm your identity using the UK Immigration ID Check app. That was the frustrating part. You'd have to use an app. The UK Home Office or the UK Visas Immigration, they made an app. It's called a UK Immigration ID Check app. So after you've created the UKVI account, you'd have to confirm your identity using this app. And then the third thing is then you'll be able to take passport photos and then link your UKVI account, and then you get your e-visa. It's basically like that. Steps to get your e-visa. How do you get a UKV account? So if you've just recently renewed your visa or you've just recently applied for a UK visa, you should have a UKV account. So for you skip that part. You want the UKV, I send you the email. You'll be able to either sign in. If you already have a UKV account, you'll be able to log in. But for those of us who did not have, we have to now create from the scratch. So if you already have a UKV account, probably you just recently renewed your visa or you just recently applied for a visa, you were asked to create a UKV account, right? So for you skip that part and then you just move on to proving your identity with the app. So for me, I had to start from the scratch. If you're like me and then you have to start from the scratch, there are a few things you need to create the UKV account. So what do you need to create a UKV account? One, you need your date of birth, and then also you need your BRP number, and then you need a passport if you do not have a BRP, your passport, and then you also need a smartphone, and then access to an email address and a phone number. So these are what you need to be able to get your UKV account. Also, if you're creating the UKV account for someone else, like your dependent, like your child, it's the same things you need. However, on the app, they'll ask you to confirm that you have the right to do it for this person. Let's say you're the father or you're the parent of the person. Once you get the link to create a UKV account and then you tap on it, you see something like this. It will ask you, have you ever had a biometric residence permit? I answered yes. And then the next thing is that, is your biometric residence permit BRP valid? Is it valid or is it expired less than a year ago? Or so obviously you answer based on your situation. And then who are you creating this account for? So let's say yourself, you take me, or if it's for someone else, you select you're the parent, let's say creating it for your child. And then also they'll ask for your name. So you put your given names as per your passport and your biometric residence card, okay, the legal ones. So you put your names there, and then they'll ask you your country of nationality as based on your passport. You put it there as well. So as you can see, for me, I put Ghana. And then also they'll ask you which identity document are you using. So are you using your passport for the process or are you using your BRP? For me, I use my BRP. If you're using your BRP, you have to make sure that your BRP cannot have expired more than a year ago. If you're using your passport, also make sure that your passport cannot have expired at all. We'll go on and on and on. They'll ask you further questions and then you successfully create your UKVI account. Once you create your UKVI account, there will be another email. So they'll ask you for the email address, obviously, that you want to use for the process. They also ask you for your mobile number. So you give them the most current mobile number that you're using and then your email address as well. And then there'll be another email to help you log in into the UKVI account after you've created it. For security reasons, because they want to know that it is really you, they'll send a code to either the email address that you used or the mobile number that you used. So when you input this code, then you'll be able to log into your UKVI account. So now after you successfully created a UKVI account and then you've logged in again and then they've sent you the code to confirm that it is really you, the security check, then they'll now give you a link that would allow you to link the UKVI account that you have created to an e-visa. You can only do so after you have done your ID check, and then the ID check is done by an app. It is called the UK Immigration ID Check app. If you tap on the link that you get in the email, again, you'll be connected to the app. What I did, I don't know if it was a mistake, was I went straight, because I saw the name of the app, I just went straight to App Store to download the app. But later, I think there was another app that was similar that I downloaded mistakenly. So I think the best thing for you to do, let the website itself, the link in the email, link you to your Play Store or link you to the App Store, download it from there. Instead of you personally going there to the App Store or the Play Store to go and download a UK, which is probably not the one that you might need. When you follow the directions in the email, the step-by-step guide in the email, it's going to lead you to Play Store, the app, directly from the link in the email. I hope I'm making sense, okay? So when you download the app, now this is how they're going to check your identity. Listen carefully. They're going to ask you to take a picture of the back of your BRP card. You can decide to either use your passport or you can decide to either use your BRP card. Initially, I tried using my BRP. I was struggling because it kept failing. Then I switched to my passport. It kept failing. I came back to my biometric residence permit. It kept failing until I was given 2 last chances. They actually told me that if the 2 last chances fail, I would have to physically send my documents to their office for verification or for confirmation. I did not want to go through that because only God knows how long it will take, because everybody who's struggling might send it, and I didn't want to go. I wanted to be able to do it myself in the house. So I realized why it kept failing, and I'll come to that later. This is what they'll ask you to do. They'll ask you to take a picture of the back of the BRP. That's if you're using a BRP. And then they'll ask you to take a front picture of it as well. The reason why it was failing was because there was a shadow. So if you're not doing it in a well-lit area, you're probably going to get shadows on the card. And the app obviously will not be able to get the details correctly, and then it will fail. That is why mine kept failing. And even when I switched to the passport, I think there was a shadow as well. I thought it was clear, but obviously the app did not have the wisdom to know that, no, it thought it was an error. So it automatically said that I had to do it over and over again. And then it gave me 2 last chances until I figured it out. I actually put like a selfie, like, you know, one of those small lamps that people use to take attached to their phones to take pictures. That's what I use. I put it just above it, or like beside the card as I take the picture. It was well lit, and that was it. Boom, it connected and it was successful. So that is what I did. I would urge you to read it very carefully, because right after you take the back, they'll ask you to take the front. And then another interesting part is they'll say that they want to detect the chip on the passport or on the biometric residence permit. So do you know there's actually a chip in the biometric residence permit or in your passport, and the app is able to detect that chip to know that it's genuine? They'll ask you, you follow the prompt or the instructions on the ID app. So it will tell you that place your phone on the ID card that you are using. So if you're using your passport, it will tell you to place your phone on the passport. And various passports or various BRP cards have chips in different places. So it doesn't know whether yours is at the left or on the right. So it will tell you to keep moving. Place your, let's say this is your phone, place, and this is your ID card. It will tell you to place your phone on the card and keep moving it. So it's trying to find out where the chip is. Immediately it detects the chip, it will tell you to keep it still so that it gets the information it needs. I was struggling because I didn't know that's what it was doing, and the place was not well lit, so it kept refusing, so all I'll say is that make sure the place is well lit, and then really read the instructions well. It made it, as you keep moving it, immediately it starts, you see that the back, there's a bar that is reading, like it's a green bar, then you know that, then it will say that keep your phone still. So at that point, that means it has detected the chip. So just keep it still until it reads whatever information it needs to read. So you have to make sure at that point the phone is kept still, because that is the point where it has detected the chip. After it has detected it, you're still moving it, you go to another place where the chip is not there. That was the frustration. So after I was able to do that successfully, then it will tell you that you have to take a picture of yourself. So I think it was a sort of like a face ID something. You see how those with phones that have the face ID, whatever, you know, initially when you buy the phone, it will tell you to do this, and then you'll be doing your face, like it's similar to that. So there'll be an overall thing in the app that's detecting your face. You see that it's like it's scanning your face to see all your features. So it will do that, and then that is why they are saying that you need a smartphone. So if your phone is the type that can only make calls and receive text messages, you may want to get somebody's phone to do that. And I also know that apparently you can also use a computer, but when you use a computer, it will give you a QR code, and then you use your phone to scan it. Definitely need a smartphone again, even if you use a computer, so that you can do that face thing, the face scanning thing. That's why you need a smartphone. Even if you're using an iPhone, it would ask you whether your iPhone 7 or newer. They will ask you that question. Can you imagine? So you really need a smartphone to be able to do this. So after you have done it, and then it would ask you to take pictures as well. So the day that I was able to finally get to that stage, and this is the picture that will be associated with your UK visas and immigration stuff. So when I was told that that's the picture that I was going to use, I was like, no, I don't look good. So I said, no, let me stop. And then, because this was me early in the morning, I had just finished 9 shifts, I had everything in my face, it was not looking nice at all. I decided that no, I would rather do it when I do my makeup. I had 2 last attempts at the time. When I decided to pause and then later I'll continue, I thought I'll be able to continue from the picture part. Then it started the whole process again of me scanning the back of my BRP, scanning the front, doing the face scanning recognition. It had to do everything again. And so that means at that time I had only 1 last attempt, and that was the one that was successful. Good. Do not be like me. I wasted so many of my attempts or my chances. Okay, so just make sure you're doing all the things right, well lit, make sure you're ready. If you want to do everything at a go, make sure you're ready, you're well dressed, everything is fine. Because when you're taking the picture as well, they say that the background should be plain without anything in the background, and they'll even give you an example, and then also make sure that you can finish at a go. If not, for the issues I was having with the shade and then the shadows and then, you know, everything, it could have taken me, let's say, 25 minutes to finish the whole thing, or 20 minutes to finish the whole thing. So if you're able to do it successfully, this is what the email you're going to get. They will say that, and this email is from noreply@homeoffice.gov.uk. They're going to say, dear Nana Griselda NT, your reference number is ... and then they're saying we will email you to let you know when you can view your e-visa. So then some few seconds later or some few minutes later, I got this. It says, dear Nana Griselda NT, that's another email. They gave me my reference number. They say you can now view your e-visa, which is your online immigration status. You will need to sign in using your UK visas and immigration account. So that's why you were asked to create the UK VI account before, because that's the only way through which you can do that. This is also now linked to your passport that you'll be traveling with. That is why I'm saying that should you renew your passport and then you have another passport, please always update your details. Should you misplace your phone, you change your phone number, make sure you go go back into the app, you know the details you used. You can use your email address, whatever, and then use that to update your mobile number on there. If you want to access your UKVI account again, obviously you need your date of birth. You'd also need access to a phone or your email, and then you also need the ID document that you use to create the account, like in my case, the BRP. So they'll send a code to the email or the mobile number that you use to verify that it is really you before they can give you access to the account. So when they send the code, they'll tell you to input the code on the website, and then if you're able to input the correct code that they send to you, then they can open for you. If I do that, this is what I see. So this is how the e-visa looks like. Yes, it says your name, then your registered INT, then it says yeah, my status, so settled, and then it says there's no limit on how long you can stay in the UK. Gives whoever is searching what kind of visa you are on or your immigration status. Are you settled? Are you on a work visa? Are you on a student visa? It would explain. So whoever is checking at the immigration or border will know the kind of visa that you are on based on you just giving them your date of birth. They'll be able to check everything. And then remember the picture that I took after all the makeup I did. This is the best that came. So this is the picture that is associated with my UKVI account or my e-visa. And then also you can click on the link there to get a share code. So when you're going to rent a house in the UK now, or you're going to apply for a job, employers and landlords will need you to prove your immigration status, because now you know they are charging them big money if they employ or they rent out a place to illegal immigrants. So when they don't have to get all your details like your date of birth, your BRP number, blah, blah, all they need is a share code. Okay, and when they input the share code, they'll be able to check if you have the right to work and stay in the UK. So you can just get the share code by tapping on that green button, as you can see, the green link there. So now it also shows what I can do in the UK. They are very, very detailed. The e-visa shows everything. For instance, when I check my own, this is what came right under the image. It says your settlement status mean you can live in the UK, work in the UK, study in the UK, rent a place to live, use the NHS, blah, 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 blah. They even went further to explain my continuous absence to say that if I absent myself for more than 2 years at a time, that means I will lose my settlement status. I'll have to reapply, returning residence visa, blah, blah, blah. And then also legal basis of my status, I've been granted settlements in the UK. So everything. So like I said, make sure that the environment is well lit. Make sure you're reading the instructions very, very well, and make sure that when you're doing it, you finish everything, and then don't miss all your attempts that you have or the chances you have, because you may have to send the physical documents to the UK Visitors Immigration if yours keeps failing. And then also know that you need a smartphone, you need your date of birth, you need your BRP card to be able to do this whole process. And check your emails. Check your emails. If you are not receiving any email, try and remember who did your visa application for you. Did you do it yourself? Who did your visa renewal for you? Was it your friend? Was it an immigration advisor? Please contact this person. It's most likely the Home Office is thinking you are the one. And then once you get access to it, update your email, make it yours. These things, you can do them yourself. All right. So if you also change your passport, always make sure that you update the details of your new passport on the UKVI account. This is your BRP now. Somebody will ask, what is the benefit of switching to the e-visa? Remember that before this, when you misplace your BRP or your BRP gets stolen or missing, the trouble you'd have to go through before you get a replacement, you don't want to. Now, even if it get missing, you can still travel because they can prove it at the border or at immigration by just looking on the computer. You don't need it after 1st January 2025. Also, now, when you come to the UK, there's some people that came to the UK and then they had to go and work, but their BRP was not in, so they had to stay indoors for weeks. They'll go to the post office to say the BRP is not yet in. The Home Office had not printed some. It's costly for the UK Home Office, and it was causing a lot of delays and a lot of trouble. Now, everything is easy, smooth. Digital is the way forward, Abby. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.